At 3 a.m., on Labor Day weekend, in 1990, after not finding anyone interesting enough at the local bars, Jeffrey Dahmer decided to go to a bookstore to buy adult magazines and go home. He saw 22-year-old Ernest Miller walking out of the bookstore. Ernest Miller, who lived in Chicago, was visiting his family in Milwaukee. Being that he was a dancer, Miller fit the description of the athletic build that he searched for in his victims. Dahmer is quoted as saying, "I was interested in finding the Chippendale type, good-looking swimmer type." Dahmer convinced Miller to come back to his apartment in exchange for $50. At Dahmer's apartment, Miller allowed Dahmer to listen to his heartbeat and stomach, but when Dahmer attempted to perform a sexual act of Miller, he told him, "That'll cost you extra." Dahmer attempted to drug Miller, but he only had 2 sleeping pills to give him, as opposed to the 5 or 6 he'd usually give his victims. Miller was not completely unconscious, so he took the same hunting knife used to dismember previous victims, and slashed Miller's carotid artery. Dahmer claimed he did not like slashing his throat. Miller bled out and within minutes was dead. Dahmer took Miller's body, posed it in suggestive poses, and took pictures. He then put his body in the bathtub, cut off his head and dismembered the body. In this excerpt from an interview with the FBI, Dahmer explains how he dismembered his victims. This information may be too gruesome for some viewers, so pause the video if you'd like to read. Dahmer kissed and talked to Miller's decapitated head throughout the dismemberment process, and called the experience the most sexually satisfying. Dahmer took Miller's biceps, heart, and pieces of his legs and stored them in the refrigerator to consume later.
It was a way of making me feel that they were a part of me.
The rest of Miller's body was placed in an 80-gallon pot and boiled in cleaning solution in order to aid in the separation of the bone from the skin. His skeleton was preserved along with his skull. His skin was boiled down and likely flushed down the toilet or disposed of in the trash. The remains of 11 victims would be found inside Dahmer's apartment, including Miller's remains. He would be one of 17 innocent victims tragically and brutally taken away from their families by the hands of Jeffrey Dahmer. Thanks for watching, stay safe, comment and subscribe.